All right. This is your Coffee and Magic individual card pulls for the week of July 21st. And today is July 21st, and it is the full moon in Capricorn. I popped on here. I didn't tell anybody. Sorry about that. But I'm also not live on other platforms. Just wanted to make sure I have a busy day. I wanted to make sure that you got your readings before tomorrow for the collectives. So we're going to start out with Karess, and we'll go down the list. Hope you guys have had a really good weekend. All right. All right, Karess. You have risk, birth and rebirth, and fear. Wow. Okay, so this week ahead for you, my friend, is like there's clearly some big opportunity happening here. Like clearly this week, it's been leading up to this week for you. It feels like there is going to be something happening that is going to take you so far out of your comfort zone that you're going to be like, oh, and all you have to do this week when that happens is to remember it's part of this process. It's the birth and rebirth process. And you have been asking for this, you're prepared for this. And the only reason it feels so fear and risky, like leaning into a fear-based mindset, is because that's the only one you had up until this time. So this is your default. So anytime like an extra stress or anxiety happens, of course we're going to default to our normal systems, right? So it's okay. Just remember this is part of your process and lean into the love-based. Ask yourself those questions. Like, am I feeling this because I'm just like so used to being fearful about new ways of doing things? You know what I mean? So big opportunity happening for you this week. Can't wait to hear about it. All right. Next up, we have Bobby. Shuffle is good. Oh my God. All right, Bobby. The fact that this has been coming up so much is so wild to me. But look, we have the Merlin and the dragon. And this happened on Friday as well. And you guys have been getting this a lot. These two dragons, like the two elements. You've got the hot and the cold, the powerful, like whoosh kind of energy, and then the alchemical balance energy. It's here. And then you also have the cat. So Bobby, this week ahead is all about your boundaries, and just all about your boundaries and all about your boundaries, like a million times your boundaries. And think about how a cat does things. A cat kind of lives its life by deciding what feels best to do in that moment, right? It doesn't take stock of the opinion of everybody else around it. And yet somehow we respect the cat, right? So it's really one of those things where moving into this week, you are going to be swept up in a lot of power. Like your power is coming online big time. And as that happens, remember your boundaries. Remember to put yourself at the center of your experience this week. And don't worry so much about how that's going to look, the optics of that, right? You are allowed to do that. This is your time. This week is your time. All right. Next up, we have Valerie. Sorry to just. Okay. Next up, we have Valerie. Shuffle it good. The Raven, Valerie. The eagle, Valerie, and forgiveness. Oh, we have some big energy coming up this week. Like, wow. Okay, so you have the eagle, the raven, and forgiveness, Valerie. These two birds are wild to have in one pull because on the one hand you have the eagle, which is like really connected to angelic realm energy, and then on the other hand you have the raven, which is really connected to human magic. Okay, so you've got two different kinds of magics happening. You've got the kind that's like out there and the kind that's right here. So those two things are coming together for you this week to kind of like team up and be like, all right, you are unstoppable if you're tapping into both the angelic realm magic and the human realm magic. And it's like you're being initiated and invited into this. That's very exciting. But what is happening is it's bringing up something as it is wont to do, right? Like forgiveness is coming up, and it's really there is a serious feeling of not lack mentality, but almost like imposter syndrome happening here. And it traces back to a time when you didn't show up for yourself. You didn't allow yourself space and kindness to be in this area, if that makes sense. And it's like, can you forgive yourself and release that narrative? Because this is here for you right now, this week. And the kindness and forgiveness that you show to all of your past selves will only intensify the magic that is available to you. So the more that you send love and forgiveness to past self, the stronger this connection will be. Okay? All right. Next up, we have Tiffany. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Also, guys, don't forget the Normalized Magic Workshop is open for registration. You can go right to my website if you need to find the link again. I did email it to you at some point. I want to say Friday, but it's open to go. All right, Tiff, here it is. Oh my God. We are just having all the things this week. Ready? Death, communication, wealth. Here is what is so loud with this one. It is so done. The old thing is so done. And it's like, can you finally release? And this feels like it's not a person. It is like literally a way of thinking about yourself, a way of treating yourself, a way of seeing like where you belong in like the hierarchy of your life. It needs to go. Like we need to update the script. It's old, it's tired, it's served its purposes, and that cycle's done. Soon as you recognize that it is dead energy, what comes through is wealth and communication. Through your voice, you will become abundant. And that doesn't obviously mean like cash money. It can, but it's more of a way of being and feeling, right? Wealth energy, abundant energy means that you really move out of fear based entirely for one very simple reason. It's that you always know you're going to be fine and there's more coming for you. It's the abundance mindset means that you don't shrink in fear. And so through the power of your voice, you tap into that energy. I don't hate that, Tiff. All right. Next up, we have Kit. All right. You ready, Kit? I mean, I'm almost gonna pull for myself at the end of this. High Priestess and the Raven, and the cow. So High Priestess, Raven, and cow. Now, I don't know if you can, not this one. If you see here, she also has a raven right there. That is her raven. Just like I was saying to Bobby, no, to Valerie, this is the raven is earth magic. It's like human magic, okay? And with the high priestess and the raven together, you are having a strong message of really tapping in to your inner mystic, your inner intuitive, your inner witch, like whatever, however you identify the conduit of power that is currently available to you and like what you can create, that is happening. It is peaking, it is ready, it's opening, it's moving you into that next level. The only thing you need to remember is that you do deserve that. You can have it. Let yourself receive. I'm getting so strongly this message of just like you being open to receiving the magic and energy that is coming for you this week. Just like open, open. Okay. Just let it come through. There's nothing else for you to do. Just let the power infuse your being. I'm loving the readings this week. Wow. Okay. Next up, we have Susan. All right, Susan, you have the wind fairy, focus, and the fire fairy. Talk about, again, creation energy for you this week. So these two are going to go together. What you focus your thoughts on this week will be directly connected to your creativity and things you're making, right? That's always true, but you have an extra boost of that energy this week. So really pay attention this week to where your brain is spending the bulk of its time. Are you spinning in a little bit of like projected scenario place? Are you in a little bit of anxiety? Like, or what are you worried about? Right? Because what you're worried about is literally, okay, here's what I'm hearing, which just sounds so crazy. Worry about all the amazing things. So if you're like, what are you so worried about? Like, I'm worried about being abundant beyond my wildest dreams and having the best day of my life and everything working out perfectly. I'm worried about it. Worry about that. And it feels like a hack for you specifically. If you tell yourself to worry about the good things, not that not gonna happen, but that they are, you might break your brain in a way that you need to break it. Does that make sense? It's like it'll help rewire it in a different direction if you're like, "Oh, I'm worried everything's going to work out. Oh, I'm worried that I'm going to be like famous beyond my wildest dreams." Like just whatever it is, right? But that is what's happening right now, a rewiring of your brain so that you can do that. And because what's happening is you have some big creation energy happening right now this week, popping off as per the weather forecast. All right, Susan. Next up, we have Allison. Wow. All right, Allison. Look who's back. Are we sensing a theme? So here's the raven. You also have the owl, and you have the dragon. So once again, for like the third time today, human magic. Your human magic. And then you have the dragon, and you have the owl. So here's the situation that's happening this week, Allison. Um, so there you're getting like kind of a ping on somebody, right? That you're kind of feeling like, is something off here? Am I missing something? That kind of a vibe. Like, is someone not being fully truthful? I don't know. But you're getting that like vibe. And the answer is not to go into detective mode this week, but to focus on your own magic, your own energy, and your own power. Because at the end of the day, if you truly believe that you are essentially more powerful than this, it doesn't matter what this does. Do you see what I mean? It kind of makes it irrelevant. So this may or may not be true, right? Somebody may or may not be messing with your stuff. But what you need to remember is it doesn't matter because this is you. Like look how powerful that duo is, the raven and the dragon. It's like your human magic is getting the biggest boost this week, just like everybody else is kind of getting that boost. Ride that boost and focus on that, not so much on this. This will square itself, it feels like to me. Whatever this is will come out, but you don't need to put extra energy into it. Okay? What will I find? How will I find out what to read about? I don't know what that means. Okay. Next up is Jennell. Jennell, Julie, Gina, and Yvonne. All right, Jennell. All right, babes. Love, King, Swan. So this week, again, your magic is on full fleek as well. That is symbolized by the swan. But for you, you do have to deal with some actual decision making this week. Okay. And it's going to feel like you don't want to. It may feel like, oh, like maybe I'll just kind of leave it alone and like just like see where it goes. No, 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 honey. It's you. Like you're the one who's going to have to make this decision. But the procrastination hasn't been helping. But there is a decision you need to make this week. And the only thing you need to remember, again, I keep saying that a lot for these readings, but the only thing you have to remember is that you are moving from a love-based perspective and not a fear-based perspective. As long as you remember that whatever decision you make needs to pass that test, it's going to be fine. Okay? So just make sure you ask yourself that. Is this coming from a love-based perspective or a fear-based perspective? Okay? Short and sweet. All right. Next up is Julie. All right, Julie, my friend. You have the stag, the wasp, and the grail knight. This week has a challenge for you because somebody is trying to yuck your yum. And again, like I've been saying to everybody, this is a very powerful week for you. Walk in with all your power. Walk in like this. And do not let go of your idealism, your optimism, and the far-fetched crazy thing that your wasp friends over here are like, oh my goodness, that's not realistic. Like, what are you doing? Like, here are all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Like, whatever. Like the only reason this is buzzing around is because this is working out so well. So stick with this energy and just let this be. Like let it buzz around. Don't interfere with it. Don't add energy to it. This is being stirred up because it's working. You're working. Okay? Keep the pride, keep the pride and keep the idealism and the optimism this week. You are on the track you want to be. All right. Gina. Gina. Cat, dog, and Lady of the Lake. This is a little bit of an interesting one with this one because this is actually usually cat and dog. We're talking about boundaries and loving yourself, right? Not today. Today, these are your animals. You have a cat and a dog, and they are giving you a message. What is the message? Like, tap into that. I'm going to tell you what's coming through, obviously, but like, see what comes through for you when you tap into it. Feels like the dog energy is kind of like asking you to look at your health in a different way. And it looks like the cat energy is asking you, when will you create a boundary that allows you to have some fun? Okay, which is kind of funny for the cat energy to say that. But the dog energy is making sure you like tap in about your health, and the cat energy is making sure that you create space for yourself to have some fun. Okay, now you have the Lady of the Lake, which is all about today, especially, is all about self respect. Do you respect yourself? Do you care about yourself? Do you believe in yourself more than other people's opinions, more than their possible discomfort, et cetera, so forth? The Lady of the Lake is here to remind you to shore up those boundaries and that not everybody is meant to be around you or for you, and that is okay. Like, if they're not, they need to go. It's a get out of here kind of energy. But tap into your animals. Tap into your animals. All right. And last but not least, of course, is Yvonne. All right. We have Water Fairy, the Novice, and the Butterfly. Water Fairy, Novice, and Butterfly. Okay. So Novice is the one that connects to the Fool in the in traditional tarot, which is like new beginning, starting a new journey, right? Unsteady, unstable curiosity, just kind of like setting forth on a new quest. Um, it's vibes on that this week for you. And what you need to know is that whereas before you were being navigated by your brain, right? By your thinks. Now you're being navigated by your feelings. And that's going to feel very wonky for you because think about it. It's like going from here to like in here, right? And making our decisions from this space. So allow yourself the grace to know that even though this is right for you, it is going to feel a little bit awkward for a while because just is what it is, right? Like it's normal. It feels normal. Okay. Um, and then you have this. And this is the butterfly is really just to let you know that there is a celebration for this new energy you're in. It's kind of like, ooh, we're so glad you're in the space of like really feeling your feels and like making sure that like the choices you make are really run through your body and like way to go. Like you got this. It feels really good. It feels really right. Just remember if it has moments of feeling not really good and right, that's because you're used to operating from here and it's new. You don't have muscle memory in this space yet, and that is okay. You will build it, and this week is very foundational for building that muscle memory. Okay? So that is everyone for the week of July 21st. We are in full moon in Capricorn energy. I will obviously see you tomorrow morning. If you're going to be here for Coffee Magic, sending you lots of love. Mwah. Talk soon.